Would you like to network to land more job interviews? You've come to the right place because in today's video, I'm going to share with you how you can network to land a job interview. Watch this video to learn the 4 key steps to networking to landing more job interviews and eventually a job. Hi, my name is Jo Randolph and I'm a branding consultant and I help professionals become experts and leaders in the field they care about most. On this channel, I share with you how to get the job you want and become an expert and leader in your field so that your career is something you love and supports the life you want. If you want to watch videos like this, come and join me and subscribe. I post new videos every single week. The fact that you're watching this video tells me that right now you're looking for a new job and you've heard somewhere that networking can really make a difference, because if you have connections, sometimes those connections can actually make it so much easier to get the job. But the problem is you don't really know how to network to get a job and you don't really know what to do. Well, don't worry, I've got you, because in today's video, I'm going to share with you exactly what you need to do to network to start landing more job interviews. Let's start with the number 1 mistake you want to avoid, which is thinking like an introvert. Now, if you're someone that's quite shy and you feel nervous about approaching people, I totally get it. Even though I post YouTube videos and I put myself out there, I'm actually someone who is very shy and actually always feels uncomfortable about approaching people that I don't know. Here's the thing. When you act shy and you feel like you're being a little bit of a bother to actually approach them and try and make a connection with them in order for you to get the job. But here's the thing. 80% of the jobs that are available in the market are not advertised online. Only 20% of roles are what you actually see when you go through the job aggregate website that you're looking at. And so what I'm trying to say is that the reality is, by the time a company has posted a job online, it's usually their last resort. Normally when they're looking to hire a full position, they try and use their internal network, they try and promote people internally. They might use a recruiter or a headhunter to try and find someone that's specific for a role. And by the time it's actually posted online, it's usually because they haven't been able to use all the other methods that are cheaper and easier and more reliable for finding good talent. And so the trick to landing more interviews isn't to focus on the 20% of roles that are advertised online and have so much competition because everyone sees it in your field and everyone's applying, but it's to actually try and get in early, try and be one of the few people that they're talking to whilst they are looking to fill the position. But the question is, how do you do that? Well, the first thing you want to do is you want to switch your mindset. Instead of feeling like you are a bother when you're approaching someone for a job or for a connection, actually see yourself as someone who can help them feel good and look good. When you make a connection with someone and they refer you to someone else for a position or for a job, if you get this job and you end up being great at it, it actually makes them feel good and look good for referring you. So much so the companies sometimes even pay their staff hundreds or thousands of pounds for referring someone who has joined the company is actually a really good fit. And the other thing is that if you're working with a recruiter or hiring manager, it is their job to find talent. So by you reaching out to them, you're actually helping make someone else's life easier, and you could also possibly be helping someone that's working there actually make some extra cash on the side, which always makes them feel good. So try and start to see that your networking is a way for you to make someone's life easier rather than you being someone who isn't someone they actually really want to talk to. So the big question is, once you've plucked up the courage to start networking and you're ready to do this, how do you network to get more interviews? Well, there are really 4 steps that you need to take. Now, the first step is that you actually want to first identify the company you want to work for. It becomes so much easier to know who to network with and who to reach out to if you actually specifically know the companies you want to work at. So be sure to make a short list of the companies you want to work for. The second thing to do is to then identify exactly who would be most able to give you that foot in the door. There are a couple of ways you can do this. Sometimes you can actually approach a recruiter. So this can be an external agency, and external agencies actually sometimes work with some firms on a regular basis to help them find talent. So you can find a recruiter there, or you can connect with a hiring manager that actually works within the company, or you can actually talk to someone who works within the company but is just a normal employee. And one other person that can also help you make the connections is a friend who knows someone who works at the company that you want to work at. If you're wondering how exactly to do this, I actually go into a lot more detail in my course, but as I said, it would be too long of a video because there's so many different approaches. So now we're going to go into step 3. And now step 3 is to then identify the way you want to approach them. The approach that you use really does depend on who you are reaching out to. So for example, if you are looking to get in touch with a recruiter or hiring manager, the easiest way to reach out to them is to actually try and see if you can find them on LinkedIn. So you can simply go into LinkedIn and have a search for HR manager or HR person at this company, and something might come up. Sometimes you might not be able to find a hiring manager or recruiter on LinkedIn, but there are actually other strategies you can use to do this. Now, one thing you can do is to actually cold email. So you can actually try and figure out what the email address is for the people that work at the company, or you can try and figure out what the email address is for the people that work at an external recruitment agency, and you can actually just send them an email directly, letting them know that you are looking for a job. Another way you can do this is you can also do informational interviews. Now, informational interviews are perfect if you want to speak to an employee who works at a company. So an informational interview is basically when you ask someone that works there for about 5 to 15 minutes of their time to learn more about what it's like working at that company. If you make it super easy for the person to say yes, i.e., can I buy a coffee for you, I'm happy to come to your office, or I'm happy to take you out for a quick lunch, then you actually really make it easy for them. And as I said, people are normally incentivized to do this because if they refer you to the role and you get the job, sometimes they'll actually get paid for it. So informational interviews are a great thing to do. Another way you can make connections is to also attend events. Sometimes there are recruitment events, sometimes there are industry events. So for example, I know lots of women who are interested in going into tech and transitioning into the tech industry, they love attending tech events because often there are recruiters and people who work at various companies at these events, and they can actually exchange business cards. And then the fourth step is that you send them a standout CV and also give them a really strong and compelling reason for why you want to work there and also the impact that you want to make. I actually have a separate video on how to write a standout CV in one of my videos, so be sure to check that out if you don't know how to write a standout CV. But it's really, really important that you have a standout CV, and with that CV, you also send a really nice email or a cover letter that really shows exactly the impact that you want to make at the company. Because if you do both of those things, then you're actually more likely to get the job interview. And that's it. That is the way that you're able to actually make connections with people who can help you get an interview at the job. Now, if you want to learn the specifics of exactly how to approach them and exactly how to do this, then be sure to check out the quiz or sign up for the free training in the link in the description box below. And I also have a course that actually goes into so much detail, so be sure to check it all out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Anyways, I'd love to know what you think. What have you found most difficult about networking? Leave a comment in the box below, and I love reading your responses, and I shall see you again soon. All right, bye.